Hello, everybody. Dale Dickerson, Coach Jason Russell. Coach, we took a tough one on homecoming the other night.
Yes, we did. We talked about it before we got on the show here. Defensively, I thought we played a whole lot better. They did score 20 points. All three of those were on short fields. All three of them off of turnovers. So that's really the story of the game. I felt like it was turnovers. I thought we played well enough to win the game defensively. We can't have so many turnovers offensively. We gave up 3 turnovers. We had a turnover on the punt where we got hit by the ball running down the field. We were in the middle of the pack. It's just one of those unfortunate circumstances. Yeah. There's not much we can do about that turnover, but offensively we had 3 turnovers. You can't win games against good teams that you're evenly matched or outmatched a little bit in some places with the injuries we have. You can't win those football games when you have that many turnovers. Offensively, we didn't play because of the turnovers. Those ended several drives that we had that were promising, and then we were short weapons. Without having Kylan Rhodes in there, he has 800 yards through the first 4 games. He's averaging 200 yards a game. That's a whole lot of offensive production that you lose right there. He's a dynamic running back, and so that hurts. Jerry had to play more at running back because of that, and that hurt us both offensively and defensively because then he got tired for defensive side. So a tough game, frustrating for us. Our kids have worked very, very hard. Our kids are continuing to work hard. But that was a really good DeSoto Central team. We had to play very well to beat them. It wasn't like we could show up and roll our hats out there and win the game. They were physically right there with us, if not outmatching us in a lot of spots. And then with injuries, we had to play near perfect to win the game, and we did not do that with 3 turnovers on offense.
And not only are the turnovers, there was 3, but where they occurred, they were on our side of the 50 every
That's
time.
Right.
It was not like we got down and pinned them deep after a turnover. They were on short field every time.
That's right. Like I said, 2 of those turnovers, or 2 of the touchdowns they had, all 3 touchdowns were off of turnovers, 2 of them offensive turnovers. One was right at the 20-yard line. The other one was inside of our 50. You give a good team a short field, it's hard to stop them in that situation. And that's kind of what ended up, what transpired. Our defense, I thought, like I said, played really well. Coverage-wise, we didn't lose guys in coverage. They tried to throw it multiple times on us because of the film that they saw from the previous week. I'm sure they went in with the game plan that they were really going to test our coverage. It held strong. We were right where we needed to be all night in coverage. That we gave up more rushing yards than I wanted to. A lot of the rushing yards came early in the game when the quarterback pulled it on a midline read, and we made a bad read. We kind of got ourselves out of position. We revamped the entire defense this week. We're running a completely different defense than we've run early in the season. I thought our kids responded really, really well to that and fixed a lot of the problems that we've been having defensively. That first touchdown, we got ourselves a little bit out of position with a player playing a new spot. Again, he hasn't done that, until that moment, and then that never happened again the rest of the game. So he kind of learned how that angle had to work for him, and from that point on, we shut down those things. We've been bent a little bit. We give up the middle of the field as they would travel down the field, but then as soon as we kind of got in that red zone, we'd stiffen up defensively and stop them. And kudos to our defense, for doing that.
Well, their offense had 3 different tailbacks, running backs during the game in the first 3 quarters, and then they brought in the linebacker and their big back, that short yardage guy, Torian Davis, came in the middle of the 3rd quarter and a good bit of the 4th quarter for their short yardage, and he is a beast. He's hard to bring down.
He's a beast. He's one of the strongest kids in the state. He's an SEC player. They just turned around and handed it to him, and we had guys in position, and he would hit them and fall forward for 3, 4, 5 yards. Broke a couple tackles. I think he ended up with 70-something yards rushing. A lot of that was yards after contact, but that guy was big, strong, physical, and great game plan bringing him in 3rd and 4th quarter. when the guys on the other side are a little bit tired, and then here he comes, a battering ram, and just running right into people. But we were able to stop him most of the time. Eventually, I mean, it just, like I said, we bent, but we didn't break. And then, but that's part of that running yardage that we gave up.
Yeah. All right, let's look at a few highlights here. We've got a few highlights here. This is first one is a pass to Jay Wells, who had a lot of action this game.
Yeah, Jay Wells is right here. It's on a check route. You can see here we're kind of behind schedule. It's 3rd and 11 right there on that play, and that was kind of the story of the night. Is 1st and 2nd down. We really had a hard time running the football against them. Our short stuff was difficult, and we ended up in a lot of times where we had 3rd and 10 or 11, and I had a lot of things that I would have liked to have done in the game. But when you get to that position, I have a list when I'm 3rd and 8 to 12. I've got a list of my top priorities and my top plays that are just kind of our can't miss things that are our bread and butter, and I'm gonna come to that when it gets 3rd and 8 to 12. I've got to get the first down, and so I wasn't able to get to some things on my call sheet that I wanted to get to, and so you see that. But again, that's not being on schedule. That's not the run game not working.
If you got a bunch of say 3rd and 3s. You got a whole different playlist you're going to pick from.
A whole different playlist.
But you don't get to use them because you don't have that opportunity.
No, I've got some. I mean, we go into every game with 3 to 4 trick plays. We go into the game with shots, all kinds of stuff. But when you get backed up and you can't get on schedule like that, what I mean by schedule there is that your first down you want to gain 4 yards, second down you want to gain 3 to 4 yards, and you always want to be 3rd down and 2 to 4 yards. That way your playbook is wide open. Yeah. That's what we mean by being on schedule, and we were not on schedule. 3rd and 11 is tough. There's not a whole lot that you've got that hits that distance consistently that you feel real comfortable about throwing in a very pressure-filled situation, and so we had to stick to those play calls.
Okay, here's an example of another one here. This is a pass to Britton Trailer on 3rd and long.
Yep, 3rd and 13 right here. This is one of our favorite calls right here. This is what we won the game against Horn Lake with. We throw the comeback right here, the outside guy, clear out everybody with the second receiver. And Britton makes a great catch right there for a first down again. So we're continuing to move the ball. But again, I think those 2 plays honestly might have been on the same drive, back to back.
They were.
Yeah, and so we're looking at 1st and 2nd down didn't work, long 3rd down. 1st and 2nd down didn't work, long 3rd down. And it's hard to operate like that offensively.
It is.
Yep.
Whether you're high school, college, or pro, you just can't operate that way consistently. You may do it one drive, but you're not going to do it the whole ball game.
No. You can't do that. You got to be more efficient on 1st and 2nd down for sure.
All right, this is another pass. Jay Wells had a good game stepping in for injured Bobo.
Yeah. So Jay Wells, right here, we've got a little bit of a read, pre-snap read. They roll their outside linebacker down. They're going to bring him to help with the run game. In that situation, we've got just a little tag that we can go ahead and attack that flat right now that he vacates when he does that. They did a good job of rolling that safety down and knowing that they were bringing that and made it a little bit difficult. But Jay did a great job of sidestepping that guy one-on-one out there and making a big play. We just, again, our offense is predicated on getting the ball to playmakers in space. That's what we do. We're not asking Raheem to throw the ball all the way down the field all the time. We do stretch the field vertically. We saw that. We got one of the highlights coming up here in a minute. But the big thing is with an offense like ours is to get the ball to playmakers in space, let them make plays. You don't have to make all the plays yourself. Just distribute it. And that's what Jay Wells did right there.
Okay. Here's our next one. This is a long run. We finally broke a long run. This is Jerry Walls.
Yeah, like I said, Jerry was playing double duty the other night. I mean, he was having to play both offense and defense. Right here, we run a little power concept right here to the play side. We get through the play side, and then it opens up through the back side. He steps through the line and then cuts it back, and huge run right there. Almost score the touchdown on that play, but I think the next play is we go ahead and finish the drive right here with our goal line set and run it into the end zone.
Yeah, this is Jerry from 1 yard out, and I think this makes the score because they've scored 2 touchdowns and missed 2 extra points. I think this brings us to 12-7.
Yeah,
Gets us right back in the ball game.
That's right. 12-7, and we come back here in just a minute, and we actually take the lead.
Yeah.
And go 14-12 in just a moment.
This is one of their turnovers. They fumble the ball, and we get a chance after a turnover here around the 36-yard line.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we couldn't take advantage of the turnover like they did, and that's a big difference in the ball game. One team scores off a turnover, and the other one doesn't.
That's right. When we get a turnover, we've got to get points on the board, especially when we get the turnover on our side of the field. That's something we've got to capitalize on.
All right, this next one I think is the pass to Britton Trailer over on that right sideline.
Yep. Right here, got the fade. Britton wins one-on-one coverage again. Again, he continues to do that week in, week out. Big game, 100-yard receiving for Britton. He continues to play well, be a star out there on the field for us.
He is. And that puts us ahead.
Yeah, that puts us ahead. We're ahead right now, 14-12, and it's a dogfight right now. I mean, it was a dogfight the whole game. I mean, literally the game came down to the very last play of the game. So.
Yep. Well, we got a bye week this week, so we'll have a chance to heal up, and next week after that we'll be at Center Hill, another backyard brawl type game.
That's right. We're playing on Thursday this week too against Center Hill. Yeah, it's a Thursday night game. We've got fall break coming up that weekend afterwards.
Okay.
So Coach Peacock contacted me back in the summer about it and said, "Hey, would y'all mind playing on Thursday?" And I said, "Well, as long as everything works out administration wise," and it did, and so we're going to play on Thursday night. Due to a lot of people, we'll go out of town or whatever for fall break, and so Thursday night at Center Hill next Thursday. So.
Okay. Well, like I said, we've talked about this before. Center Hill and the Olive Branch kids, half of them are kin.
Oh yeah.
This is a bragging rights game that for families that.
Well, you look at it. We're Lewisburg. Anytime your district touches somebody else's district, it's a rivalry game. And, ours, literally, we have one street that separates us on all 3 of these games that we're talking about here. Lewisburg to DeSoto Central to Center Hill. So motivation for the kids to play, it's there. I mean, the kids are excited about the opportunity to play against, like you said, their cousin or their friend or somebody that they've grown up with their entire life. And it should be a great atmosphere, a highly contested game. It'll be a 4-quarter game. There's no doubt about it. Both teams will be coming in really excited about playing each other.
Not only is it a rivalry, but it's our first district game.
Yeah, and that's we also talked about that off air. Is it really, when you look at the schedule, you separate this. The schedule goes into 3 places. You got your preseason, you got your regular season, and then you got your postseason. We're done with the preseason. Okay, we played the best Cleveland Central team they've ever had. We played the best Lewisburg team they've ever had, and we played the biggest school in the state. We didn't schedule cupcakes for our first 5 games. It's been a tough road for us to go through those things. But what that does is it gives you adversity and makes you a better football team. Would I like to have won more of those games? Absolutely I would have. But we didn't schedule games that we could just come out and just steamroll people, because that doesn't tell you what you need to fix. Now you go into district play, which is your regular season, and we got 6 teams in the district. Basically what it comes down to, you got to win 2 or 3 games to be a playoff team, and then you've got to win, we got to win basically 4 or 5 games to win the district. And so now our goal has changed, and we still have everything right in front of us, and we still have the opportunity to go to the playoffs. We still have a chance to have a winning season. We have everything right in front of us. And all we've done is find weaknesses, correct those, get better week in, week out. We were a better football team Friday night than we were the week before. Our kids are doing that. Our kids are working their tails off. They just need to continue to do that, and we just need to continue to get better. And, we do that and we get healthy. I feel good about us against Center Hill. It's going to be a tough game, but, I like our chances.
Okay. Well, again, we've got a bye week, so we will not be on air next Monday, but next Thursday night, 2 weeks, Thursday night, we'll be at Center Hill. If you can't come to the game, we'd love to see you in the stands. If you can't be there, catch us on obtvlive.com. And we'll see you 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.